Hello, I'm Player and welcome to an FM20's tactic video for this attacking kind of gen press system that I have made and had great success with, and I thought I would share it on YouTube. So it is a 4-2-3-1, it's asymmetric. There are kind of a few variants of this you can go with, like as you can see I've got two inverted wingers on at the moment. They can also become regular wingers, or you can have one of each, which kind of produce the same results. And if you want, you can also drop this deep line playmaker into defensive midfield, keeping him on with the same role. I've found that those adjustments do still provide decent results. So I will show you all the results and what I've achieved with this Fiorentina team in a little bit. I am 3 seasons in, I've just finished my 3rd season, but like I say, I'll go into that later. But into the tactic, I think in terms of player instructions, I've not actually got any on as well, any added ones on anyway. So it's just the kind of team instructions down this left hand side that we do have on. But player roles, we do have sweeper, keeper, on defend. That's pretty much just because, well, at the time, Dragowski here, I don't think he could play on support or attack, so that was kind of my thinking behind that. It's a high defensive line, so you do want a sweeper keeper, but I suppose it's kind of up to you what you would like them to be, I suppose. Dragowski is not the greatest with his feet, which is again why he's kind of on defence. The two fullbacks, they are on automatic, but because the team mentality is on attacking, they are essentially on attacking. You do kind of need good fullbacks in this system. Like if you look at Larola here, for the 3 seasons I've had him, well, particularly in this last season, he has contributed to a lot of goals and a lot of assists. He has been a fantastic player for me over this last season. And I've got Firpo on the left side as well, who again are contributing with the assists and getting a good match rating there as well. So I think fullbacks are a key area of this team. Two centre backs on ball playing defenders. It just kind of helps. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of what I went for, and it seems to be working quite well. I don't see why it wouldn't work with normal defenders, but this is what I've kind of went with. I do feel like this team, I've only tried it with kind of good teams, if you know what I mean. I've not tried it with lower league sides, and you may struggle to get Segundo Volantes and find players lower down the leagues that can play that role. So yeah, I'd say maybe mid-table, higher up, but it's probably the best teams to use it with. So centre midfield, we do have a deep line playmaker on defend. He's kind of going to be the one that kind of sits back and is the most defensive minded midfield player in the team. I don't think they've got to be too great defensively, but I mean, a good tackling wouldn't be a bad thing to have, as they are often left on their own in this kind of role here as a Segundo Volante bombs up and down the pitch. Now, Segundo Volante is a interesting role. I feel like you've got to have a player that can play it well. Tonali's been okay at it. Ideally, I would prefer him to have better finishing. His long shots are decent enough for it. I would recommend having someone with decent long shots, because they do, and they can get quite a few goals. I don't think he's been that productive this season. 3 goals, 10 assists, so in the assist department he's done very well, but not so much in the way of goals. However, where is he? Polgar, who was my Segundo Volante in the first season, did well. I thought he did better than that actually, but 5 goals and 5 assists. But I do feel like you do need a good player in here that can shoot. Definitely helps. And deep line playmaker, just kind of your standard good passer and what have you. On the wings, I've got 2 inverted wingers here, just trying to spread the play a bit because it is a narrow shape, but I'll get into those instructions shortly. I mean, kind of standard inverted wingers, you want someone that can shoot and kind of pass and cross really. So I've got Orsolini and Chiesa on the left hand side, actually decreasing in some stats here, not good to see. And I've also got Tsygankov, who also plays on the right hand side regularly. And so I mean, nothing really too important or different there. And advanced playmaker, I mean, kind of standard. This was the first season Aouar's been here. I mean, not the most productive season, but I do feel like maybe he'll get better in the future because that was his first year playing in a different country and whatnot. I do also feel that there has been a few issues with attacking midfielders in this FM. I feel like they don't really get involved as much as they should. But I mean, you should have a solid player in there, passer, a good passer, and you should be okay. And up front, we do have a pressing forward, mainly to help apply pressure on the opposition defence, really, because it is kind of a gen press type system and it is very attacking. So into the instructions, I've already said it's got an attacking mentality. We are playing very narrow to try and keep compact. Pass into space is on, looking for the long ball over the top should it become available, and we do try to work the ball into the box if there is no kind of counter-attacking opportunity there, which is why good passers in the maybe at centre back, deep line playmaker and the advanced playmaker does definitely help. We do have low crosses on as well. I mean, you could change that if you've got a bigger striker, but that's what I've got on here. I do have run at defence on and be more expressive, just to try and improve the creativity of the front four, really. And run at defence is because I want to get my wingers attacking the full-backs and getting balls into the box. Passing directness is on slightly shorter, again, for when teams do get back and we're passing it around, trying to work the ball into the box. That comes in handy. And we are on a slightly higher tempo because we do want to try and get those counter-attacks off in the first place, and if not, again, we will just pass it around. In terms of in the transition, we have got counter press and counter on, kind of standard. I feel they're the best options to have, and we have got distribute to fullbacks on for that. Out of possession, we have got a higher defensive line and higher line of engagement with the offside trap on, because we are obviously playing that higher line. Faster defenders are preferred, but I don't think they're a necessity in this tactic, and we have got the pressing on extremely urgent. So that goes through all the team instructions there. I'm not sure how to kind of download this tactic, so to put it in the description or whatever, but everything you need should be on screen for you to copy for yourself. Now I will show you what I have done with this team. Okay, so in the first season in charge, I managed to finish 4th in the league with Fiorentina. I believe our predicted finish was maybe 7th or 8th. I can't quite remember. But also, I wasn't using the tactic for the whole of this season. I only used it maybe after the first 12 games or so. I was struggling round about 12th before I did change to this tactic. At that point, we had like 2 wins. It was like 8 draws and like 3 losses. It was quite ridiculous, really. But that change in tactic really did propel us above expectations, got us into the Champions League, albeit on goal difference. But because we only didn't use it for the full season, it's probably not the best gauge. This is the final league table of the second season. Again, finishing 3rd position, kind of threw away our 2nd place position in the last few games of the season there. So yeah, not a lot of defeats in there to Bologna and Atalanta. And one thing I will say is this team is very good against bigger sides as well. Although it is an attacking mentality, I do keep it on attacking for playing the bigger sides. And as you can see there as well, Lazio, maybe Atalanta and Napoli, only 3 big teams there that we got draws against and a lot of wins in there. Now, the most recent season, we actually won the league. Fantastic all round. Defence was great, the attack was great as well, and just all over, it was just amazing. Such a good, strong showing in the league there. Now the 3 defeats here, Now, again, we didn't lose to any big teams. We did get beat by Parma twice, and in one of those games, it was a last-minute goal to win the game for Parma, and in the other, I believe they were down to 10 men, and from like the 30th minute, and somehow, I think it was a 1-0 game, and somehow we never won the game, and they managed to nick a goal somewhere as well. Unbelievable, really. And Cagliari, I'm sure that was towards the end of the season. It was a heavily rotated side, because with this Fiorentina team in this season, it actually made it to the Champions League final, where we lost 2-1 to Liverpool, absolutely gutting. It was a goalkeeping error that gave Manny his goal, and that was a hard result to take, because it was a very even game as well. And to make things even worse, we got beat in the Italian Cup final to Lazio. Again, the keeper made an error for, I think it was their second goal, which was really frustrating. So I might have to look to bring in a new goalkeeper. But anyway, as far as the tactic was concerned, in this final as well, we battered them, absolutely battered them. But they got the goal with Immobile, and probably about midway through the second half. So that was really annoying. Definitely unfortunate not to do the double, but I feel like we could have maybe even done the treble had luck been on our side. We did beat PSG in the semi-finals there, which was the biggest team we faced in the knockout stages. So as you can see, we knocked out Lyon and Benfica in there, and you can see kind of all the results. 4-0 victory over Juventus there at home. And now at the start of the season, our Champions League group was actually very tough. We got Man City, Bayern Munich and Valencia in it. Very tough indeed. We did win our first 4 games, and we lost the final 2 because we had already qualified. So I fielded rotated sides against Man City and Bayern Munich for the return games. But as you can see, a lot of big results in there as well. Bologna we pumped them 7-0, and a few other really nice results in there indeed. This is not the only save I've used this tactic in. You might have noticed that the tactic was titled Milan, is because I do have it in. It was a journeyman save, and I actually made the tactic while I was manager of AC Milan. And again, I dominated Serie A with that team, winning multiple league titles. I didn't quite win a Champions League with it, but dominant in Italian football nonetheless, with a very good AC Milan side that is a lot better than the current Fiorentina team that I have just now. Just kind of for your information as well, I am going to show you the squad that I've been using. A lot of these star ratings, I noticed, depending on the player's form, kind of shot up. So like Firpo would jump from like 3-star up to 4-star in the space of like 2 games or whatever, and I noticed that was the case with a lot of players. Like Pongrasic was up at 4-star at one point. But yeah, I'll just kind of quickly scroll through the squad here so you can see what I've kind of been working with. Just to give you an idea, the kind of tactic stuff of this video is kind of done, but I just thought I'd show you a bit more about the club and what I've done in these 3 years at Fiorentina. If we go back to the transfers at the start as well, just show you the bits of business I've done there. And actually a very fun save as well. I would recommend doing Fiorentina if you are struggling for a save idea. Each summer I tend to get about 20 million transfer budget, but there's always a big sale in there. End of the first season, this was Milenkovic went to Man United, and then reinvesting all the money I got from that, as well as clearing out a lot of dead wood in the squad. And for the most recent season, bringing in a few younger players, and we had a bit more money to spend because it almost got sold on. Another big departure from Fiorentina, and then again reinvesting it into the squad. So there we have it. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you actually go ahead and use this tactic, let me know how it goes, because it's done wonders for me in 2 saves, and I'm sure it'll do well for you as well. Thank you very much, and goodbye.